Nice
There
one.
we go.
Oh wow, beautiful,
Okay, nice. Finally.
amazing.
Easy.
Yeah, shit. Sorry about
Smooth.
that. That's smooth. Yeah,
But
at least the connection's good. That's a good
yes,
sign.
Yeah. Yeah,
yes.
it's working for me quite well actually.
Yeah,
What were
nice.
you guys using before? Were you using that software?
Yeah, Riverside.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
What
It
is that?
was. It's It makes it quite easy to record and to do podcasts because you can just send the link around and it uploads it to a cloud straight away, which is kind of like
Yeah.
the main.
And it records on both ends as well, which is nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So you can all access it on like their cloud, and you've got pretty much like a lot of cloud storage. But the only problem is you get the watermark on the recordings,
Right.
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have to pay to get that off, which is a bit of a pain. But
Of
yeah,
course.
so we're thinking going old school, just going for the online calls or the online podcast, just go over Zoom and record it. I think it's kind of probably
That's right.
easiest.
And it's simple as well. It's not like all you need is like three face cams.
Yeah,
Yeah, it does.
everyone knows how to use Zoom as well. Like
Exactly.
you send a Riverside link to someone, they might not already.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it does the job, I feel. It's just simple solution, standard. Like if you're not going to be in person, there's only so you can't make it like amazing. Like if it's going to be online, it's going to be online, you know.
Yeah.
Can I just ask, like, what are you guys doing with the podcast? Like, is it a legit thing? Are you posting online now? Because I know you were doing it for a while, and then kind of just like, yeah, how's that kind of working?
Yeah, we've been doing it for a while. It's been mostly like practice, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it has just been in practice for kind of speaking and also putting in the effort to do it. So you become kind of aware of your communication skills, and I think it's a good habit to practice.
Yeah.
But we're trying to make it more. We've been doing it consistently, but we're trying to get more people on and do it more regularly and actually start posting and uploading and getting more into it because it's kind of fun. It's enjoyable as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, we started posting now. I think how many do we have out now? Like three, 4?
Yeah, right now we've got 3 on YouTube and also 3 on Spotify.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, I've been talking to some people in Denmark to get some more guests on and stuff, and yeah, it's kind of like it's not impossible to get guests on. Like it's actually you can get some pretty interesting guests. I feel like pretty quickly if you just outreach, and they're also always looking to get on the platform. But then it's like, okay, can you actually run a good podcast, and do you have the
that's the hard part.
Yeah, that's like the main thing. It's like it's not even getting the guests on. I mean,
Just the interviewing skills and all that.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Fair play. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like everyone's got a podcast nowadays, isn't it? It's a very easy way like to get into short form, I think, as well. And it's an easy way to kind of just to sell. I mean, I'm not sure what your guys' goal for this podcast is. It's more of like a networking thing. But obviously, if you are just expanding your brand, then that's a bonus as well. But I don't know, it's something hits different with like in real life podcasts. Like if you had like even if it was like a shitty studio, that'd be fine as well. But that energy. But I think obviously for now Zoom's good. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah, no, it definitely is different than in person, and yeah, you can't fully recreate it or anything. Like it is easier to get in the flow and stuff in person as well. But yeah, it's maybe soon we'll get you over in Copenhagen or something, or I'll come over UK. We can do it.
Definitely.
Yeah, but when was the last time we did the call? It's been like a month or something, right?
Well, we tried to do the other podcast like literally 2 weeks ago, or like 3 weeks ago, I think.
Was that 2 months ago? No, 3? Sure, dude. Oh,
Nah,
3 weeks ago.
I think that was a month ago.
Yeah.
Was it a month ago?
Exactly.
I think it's been longer than 3 weeks.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we had that call in, what was it?
Like a few July or something, maybe.
Yeah, like mid-July or something. Like time's moving so fast right now. Like
it's been flying. It's been flying by.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
But no, yeah. Life's good right now. I've just moved into a new office actually, on Monday. So before we were in this kind of like box unit in a business park. Well, you know where it was, like in Whitstable. Now we've moved towards Faversham. You know where that is?
I don't.
So it's literally like 20 minutes drive from Canterbury, a bit of a bigger town, and we've got like a proper nice office now. So I'm kind of back in the grind. I know I was. We talked about this on that call a few months ago, where summer's a weird time. It's like it's a good time to kind of get refreshed, relax, and kind of come back into it stronger. So with this new office, new kind of business I'm working on, I know we talked a bit about kind of my take on the ghostwriting with email marketing, which I think I'm probably one of the first in the industry to do that. So it's gonna all come together now, and I'm just literally tunnel vision for the next probably till March, I think, till the rest of the winter. I'm just smashing out, mate.
Yeah, just heads down.
Yeah.
I still find it so crazy. Like we mentioned last time, but obviously that podcast didn't go through. But like just how I was on Twitter for like 6 months, just like literally following fitness accounts and just posting like kind of on and off. And then I just see this post from the Pure Gym in Canterbury where I studied in the UK. And I replied, I think I commented or something. And then you're like, that's Pure Gym in Canterbury. I'm like, oh, damn, this guy I crossed on Twitter literally lives in like the same neighborhood as I do. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's so insane.
I hate that gym so much now.
Yeah. How is it now? Like the layout was quite weird, I remember.
It's giant, but actually it got so busy. I would go there at midnight. So that photo I put on Twitter was taken like 2 a.m. But there was still like 40 people in there. It's insane because it's so close to the uni. I think we just go.
Yeah, uni gyms get packed.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, the students just literally.
Mm-hmm. They ruin it for everyone. But how about you guys? What's kind of like year been? I know we kind of caught up at the summer, but like, I know you had some headache there. But
also, like you, very much kind of heads down and like in a sprint right now. Ultimately, I guess the main goal is self-sufficiency by Christmas. Like that's a large reason why we've been kind of in a sprint as well. Yeah, heads down for sure. Like you said, summer was also very much kind of time to refresh and kind of restructure a little bit. Had a lot of plans to do with branding and delivery as well, kind of restructuring everything and making sure we can scale, because we were like, before summer, I'd say we kind of just wanted to push through everything as fast as possible. So we were like, okay, let's get clients, let's get clients, sales, outreach. And then we had, as soon as we started delivering, we kind of realized, okay, this is not scalable at all. I'm using like all of my time on like very few clients, and I'm personalizing everything for them. It was like a 3-month program we were running, and it was like not at all scalable. But we did realize at least we can sell and we can deliver and provide value. But it's like, okay, now let's package this in a way that's more scalable and just saves us a lot of time essentially, and then also brand it a bit better so we can actually maybe get clients with ease and less outreach, and see if we can play around with a bit of marketing. And that's kind of also what we started speaking about last time, email marketing, which I've been really like wanting to speak about again, because I thought it was super interesting, the conversation we started last time. But yeah, that's pretty much what we spent summer doing, kind of structuring that, repackaging everything. And then now we've just been kind of beginning to get back in the flow again, reaching out, trying to get some. Go on.
Yeah, I was just going to say summer is more of a reflection period and conclusion to the first half of the year, where we were, like you said, we were restructuring a bunch of stuff, and now it's getting to that position where we're ready to like sprint again, like where we're ready to just get to work.
And I forget, what's the split between you two? Like, what's kind of your roles in the business?
Yeah, so I do mostly. Before summer, I was mostly doing sales, so outreach, because it's also kind of what I work. My 9 to 5 is this also like in sales. So I was doing outreach, but also delivery. So all of the calls I was doing, and also like the prep work for the clients. But then Ben was doing most of the kind of branding and content side of things, which is so tedious, because content is like that's a full-time thing in itself. Like the branding and the content, it takes so bloody long. And it's also annoying because you don't get direct like rewards or feedback from it. And we've gone through so many cycles of that. Like it's such a process of iteration. Like he's we've gone through like content rounds, maybe like, I don't know, 5 times or something, and like deleted everything and like restarted the page just because we weren't like, not, yeah, it's a process for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
but that's also part of what summer was about, where we're reflecting on what's working, what's not working, and kind of restart. And also that's where we reshaped our jobs. I guess I'm still doing content stuff like that, but it's more right now because we're taking like delivery a bit out the table, because we're focusing on doing an info product rather than a service-based product. So that's where we're doubling down on marketing compared to delivery and sales.
Interesting.
Yeah.
My kind of take on the content side of things, I think what I've seen is if you're starting from the ground up, it's really difficult to kind of gain that traction with the content at the beginning. As you know, compared to someone who's got awful content, but they've got a great business. So I know a lot of people who are doing, good money, and they've got maybe 2,000 followers on IG. They post reels sporadically every few months, every few weeks, whatever it may be. And if they actually plugged in good content frameworks, got, really did it properly, they would explode. But the guys who don't have a proper business and are probably focusing too much on content, they're going to struggle with that content blowing up, just because they don't have. I don't know if it's like an actual technical thing, but even in the back of your head, if you're kind of talking that you can do this and do that, but you're not doing it, it might come across in a different way. And I just see so many people these days who I know personally who have got a great business, and I just know if they tap into content, it explode. But then I see a bunch of other people I know who are struggling with business, but then put too much effort into content when they should kind of first. If that makes sense.
No, I completely agree. I think like people put a lot of pressure on content, but I think it's not the first priority. If you have nothing going for you, then you shouldn't be posting. And that means like personally, but also from a business perspective. Like if you're trying to grow a personal brand and it's like you're not doing anything, like no cool shit, you have nothing to post about or to share, like then you should probably kind of do something worth sharing before getting into content. And then same with the business. If you don't have any social proof, you don't have any clients, you don't have any actual, like your business isn't in operation, or you're just kind of, to be fair, you could argue if you're making content to kind of show behind the scenes and like document the process of trying to acquire clients, then that can be kind of informative and entertaining in itself. But then I don't know if that would be something you'd want on your business page, more kind of on your personal brand, maybe. But no, I completely agree. Like if you don't have any clients, then it's going to be a lot harder to get traction, even though your content is good and you have you put a lot of effort into it. That makes sense.
I mean, I think people kind of, they see, Alex Hormozi, for example. He talks about having a huge content team, or Gary Vee, even back in the day. You've seen I post, 5 times a day and like all these different things. But they've already made it. They've already done the outreach and done the grunt work of getting to that point. So I think if you're starting out, that stuff is when you're doing at least 6 figures a year minimum, I think. I get really fancy with it. Obviously, you've got to have an Instagram page, you've got to have a YouTube and whatnot. But when you start doing hiring short editors and kind of really expanding that way, we're just getting fancy with it. You know what I mean? And that's silly. I think just, you just need emails, or if you can be good at Facebook ads, or you can be good at something, and then you can kind of. It's ugly. That's why people don't want to do it, because it costs money. And it costs like real skill. But anybody technically can kind of. I think they consume so much already on social media. They think they can do it themselves, and they try to, and then they kind of fall into that loop of doing it again.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's the real foundational, like tangible skills of like, not, I don't say old school marketing, but like real marketing. Obviously, content, we know it's important, but are you going to land a client from one reel if you're just like, I don't think it's that reasonable if you're just starting out. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's definitely like a weird one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so circumstantial, and also depends how much effort, how much energy and time you have. Because if it's coming at the cost of your business operations, like if you're having to prioritize content and it's like taken away from your hours you can work on a business, then you probably shouldn't, or you should develop a system or something where you can actually like integrate it efficiently. And also there's the whole part of it not giving you results instantly. So there might be like it's kind of a liability, I'd say, for the first, like you can expect it to be a liability for a while, I think, until it starts reaping results. Like, it's not something you can just kickstart a strategy and expect, okay, next week it's going to start paying off and then we're good to go. And now it's like, so yeah, I guess it has to be part of like a longer term kind of strategy, but yeah, also case by case. But yeah, what are you still going strong with Twitter, or how's it for you with your whole content, your approach to content?
I've fallen off so hard. I've kind of made this decision to come back into content next year once I kind of got my own business, but not back and running, but like doing decent numbers. Just so I can then talk about it. I can't talk numbers just yet. I can probably come, like I said, February, March. And then I'm also struggling with that balance between personal and business. I know that, like, I've got 40,000 followers on Twitter, all dead. Most of them are dead. I put out a tweet, it might get 500 to 1,000 views, and then a few likes as well. Now, sure, I can kind of reimburse it over time and get that back. But the problem is, do I go fully professional and start talking numbers and kind of case studies of what I've done and how I'm growing my own business? And that's going to be really ugly on the engagement side of things and really boring also. Or do I have fun with it and get way more views, probably get way more followers, maybe be able to sell some kind of low ticket product down the line? I don't know, it's just a mix of both. And then also the time thing, like I'll have to put at least an hour a day, get that back up and running.
Yeah.
Right now, I just don't have an hour a day. Like I thought about canceling this on you guys. I'm sorry to say, but
yeah, no, of course.
It's it's this winter stretch is literally every hour counts. Just trying to get back into it.
It does.
I'll be up until 1 a.m. today. Work on some stuff and then back up at like 6 a.m. It's like a 5-hour sleep.
Yeah.
It's one of those winters. I just see it coming.
Yeah. No, it's man, it's so tricky because I keep falling back in those loops as well, where it's like 18-hour work days, and it's just you're waking up, you're working, and then you're going back, you're asleep. It's like you're just all the days are just kind of blending together.
It's automated.
You're just on full autopilot, but then I always come back to the same conclusion, but then it's so hard to implement, which is like, you need to prioritize your 8 hours of sleep. You need to take an hour break to go to the gym because it's going to make you more productive and more efficient when you get back to work. But it's like doing that, it's like you have to force yourself to stop and accept that not finishing this task go on is like part of like a longer plan.
I think mentally it's so hard just because it feels so counterintuitive going away from work to being more productive. And getting those hours of sleep or doing your work and stuff like that. It's like I'm going away from my work to be more productive. Like it just doesn't really add up. It feels.
No.
Yeah, I think the gym is definitely a good point. People, I think it's kind of really unpopular to say, but people are like overvalue sleep so much. Like consistent sleep. I think I don't think any consistent sleep. I'll do 6 hours a day during the weekdays, and on the weekends I won't do a thing. Like Saturday, I'll probably get like 10 hours sleep, and then Sunday I'll sleep all day. I'll probably nap for like 4 or 5 hours, then get 10 hours a night. So I kind of just be an absolute lazy slot during the weekend. But then because it's only 5 days, I can wrap my head around being like working hard for 5 days non-stop. And essentially like sleep, but not really rest, if that makes sense. And just absolutely like a bullet, right? And then look forward to the weekend and actually go out and do stuff, drink a bit, have more fun.
Yeah.
And it's that like 5 day, 2 day balance, I think generally works. At least does for me anyway. And then just abuse kind of caffeine during the week and just kind of stay awake. But
I do like the idea of having the week be like a sprint. Like I do kind of, because like Monday to Friday, just accepting, okay, this is work time. Like Monday to Friday, it's like I'm either going to be working or working out, but like nothing else. And then the weekend is like, okay, now I can like socialize and like, I mean, of course you can blend it during, like you can work with people, during the week and also like work out with people. Like there's ways to kind of blend it, but on a weekend, just like have a nap at your actual break. So then that, I think it keeps you focused. You can get like an actual work routine going. Because otherwise, if it's like day to day, you're getting like super long breaks. It's so hard for you to keep in the flow, I feel.
I mean, how hard is it to do routines with sales calls? Like now I'm doing calls. I'll sometimes stay up to like 1 a.m. to do a call with someone in California. And then I can't be up at 6 a.m. the next day.
No.
you know. So it's that was my routine right off, and I've taken like a month off sales recently. I'm back into it literally this week,
Yeah.
going live like tomorrow. So when I'm starting next week, I don't know when I'll be getting up. Don't know when I'll be going to sleep. It's just like some
Yeah.
days it'll be 10 p.m. sleeping, sometimes it'll be 1, 2 a.m. So I think you just got to
Yeah.
kind of got to be flexible and adapt to whatever the week brings.
Yeah, and that's also part of like the process of starting a business as a single person business. Like
Yeah.
you have to do all the roles and you have to like learn it all. Like you're learning it all yourself. You're doing the sales, you're doing the marketing, you're doing the delivery, like you're doing everything. So it's like you kind of have to be a jack of all trades and be there at night to like do those sales calls. Like you're not going to have someone and you're not going to expense for someone to come do it for you or to do your calls. So that's probably one of the hardest parts, huh? Being spread thin like that. Yeah.
I made that mistake as well when I did my ghostwriting last year. Well, I was doing kind of a mixture of ghostwriting and coaching. I hated sales. Like I'm naturally quite good at sales. I'm an introvert and I don't really like talking to people under that kind of like just with this pressure on the line.
Mm-hmm.
So I hired this girl from Upwork, and she was okay. And I won't lie, probably shouldn't say this, but it came down to these two people. This one dude, this German guy, who was genuinely good at sales, and this other girl, but she was really hot. So I hired her. It's really bad. And then she was so bad at sales. I think she lost me like 4 clients, was taking my calls for literally like 2 or 3 months, and didn't close a single call. So I ended up having to let her go. But I tried to do that and it just failed. So I just had to kind of learn sales in the end myself. But
so you didn't hire the German guy? Yeah.
hire the German guy. I left my best.
Poor dude.
Game's a game.
Yeah. Damn. But are you still going full swing in the email marketing then, or is that something you're still working with like day to day?
Literally, yeah. So we've literally just hired 2 new guys to kind of run that because it is essentially a full-time job just to kind of manage inboxes, especially when you're sending out the volume we're sending out. So I'm kind of just doing like a full-on refresh this past few. Like again, so basically I launched a new offer with the ghostwriting on email. Again, hadn't tested out completely. Landed 4 clients within the first month, and then I was like, okay, there's I think I sent out 2,000 emails in total. So it was like every 500 emails, or I think it worked out like 420 emails. I'd landed a new client, and then I had to get my process in order, get the whole sales process in order. So I took a month off sales. I'm coming back into it literally this week. Hired these 2 guys who are basically going to like manage all the domains, inboxes. I'm starting this new software. It's Mailchimp. That it's an okay software for just starting out. You've got like a few thousand leads you're working with, but once you're sending over 1,000 a day, you're dealing with 10, 20,000 contacts. It's a pain in the ass.
No, that's insane.
It's all manual. That's the thing with Mailchimp. Like if you're using 3,000, it's manual, so you can do it. But with this new one called Instantly, I'm using, it's like a few $100s a month, which is a little bit cheaper than what I was paying for Mailchimp. And they use AI and it's all kind of automated. And I don't know, again, I'm not really learning it. I've hired these 2 guys to kind of manage it for me. But yeah, the game plan with that is just to kind of split test. I've got 4 campaigns of split, or 2 campaigns of split testing, a bunch of subject lines. Just starting fresh. Want to get really organized with it. One of the biggest mistakes people make with email marketing, especially cold email, which is something I did, is they're not organized with it. So you send out an opener, suddenly then you want to do follow-ups with them, let's say 2 days later or the next day. Then you get those open rates and suddenly you're sending out more openers that day. And now you've got follow-ups and follow-ups and it literally gets insane, especially when you're 6 months into it. So my biggest tip to anybody out there, stay organized from day one. So that's kind of my biggest kind of goal next week is when I kind of restart it. It's just to stay organized. But yeah, I think email marketing. Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, no. You said you were using Mailchimp before, right?
Yes.
Who do you use now?
It's one called Instantly. So I think it's a relatively new one. Definitely give it a look up. It's a fixed fee, so it's like the lowest one is $97 a month. Then it's $297, I think, and there's like a $497. With Mailchimp, they actually kind of screw you with it. So you get like 1,000 contacts free, and then they try to charge you a contact block. So a contact block of 5,000 contacts. But we ended up paying like $600, $700 a month just for Mailchimp. because we had like 25,000 contacts and they were billing us for each block separately. So it added up and it got silly. So we switched.
That's such a pain. Like, it's not scalable if you're doing mass like email marketing. Like that's so expensive. That's crazy because we were using something called Beehive for the newsletter, like initially.
Yeah.
And that was also, I think, pay per like subscriber. Like the plan increases the more subscribers you get. And then we moved over to ConvertKit.
Yeah.
Which we're like working on setting up now still. But it seems better for email marketing if you're selling like an info product or something, because it's easier to, I think it integrates a bit closer with landing pages and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And the pricing plan's a bit better. The free one is better at least. So you can get started like pretty okay. But if because you're scraping like for emails, right?
We're scraping everything.
Everything.
Every email we're scraping everything.
Yeah, then you get like a few thousand new emails, like I'm not sure, a day or a week or so.
Yeah.
And that's not scale. Like you just can't use those platforms if you're doing that because it becomes so pricey.
Yeah.
But that's interesting though. So you the 420 emails for one sale, that's what do you call? That's for the high ticket. Like that's a high ticket sale, right?
That's high ticket, yeah. That's high ticket.
Yeah.
We've doubled prices this time around, so I'm probably expecting it to be the conversion rate to be a little lower. But then again, these two guys are going to help the emails. They work with a few other clients, and they literally said to me, "We were shocked that you were even getting any replies at all, like seeing what you were doing." So I'm here thinking I'm killing it, signing a client for every 420 emails I'm sending. These guys are saying shocked that you even got a reply in the first place because it was so shit the things you were doing. So like the levels to this thing is just insane.
Yeah.
So hopefully it'll be even better next week. I expect it to be, and then I think it's just a sales game because selling like a 997 offer is very different from selling like a 2997 offer. But we'll see how it goes.
What was shit about it? Was it like the copy? They were like, yeah, this is mid or something, or what was it?
The copy was probably the best part. It was just the whole process. So it was a follow-up process. So I think the average you have to touch a contact probably 7 times on average to get sale. It's kind of the average these days. We were probably doing 2 to 3 follow-ups on the same contact before ditching them. So we're probably leaving a lot of money on the table that way. But also when they looked into our campaigns, it was just a mess.
Yeah.
And we could they would ask us questions that we should know. And I'd be like, I can't tell you how many we sent here, how many sent there, because it was just a mess. So yeah. So now we're kind of back into it. I think the key again is a follow-up process. And then I mean it is numbers, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it does kind of, but that's pretty good conversion rate considering it's like mass email marketing and you're scraping the emails. So it's not like, are they qualified leads or is it more like how broad is the database? Is it like a niche that you're selecting the emails from, or how do you go about that?
So it's quite a small niche of influencers. Well, not small niche of influencers. I mean, specifically with my ghostwriter offer, I can work with anybody. So it's going to influence all sorts. Typically with at least a few 100,000 followers on Instagram or TikTok, just so they kind of proving their content works already. Because we do have to kind of like part of the offer I work on is like part of it's upfront and part of it is a revenue share. So while the upfront fee is decent, you are still putting in a few months' work just to kind of get to that point where you are making money of whatever they make. So you've got to put in that groundwork so you kind of have to believe in them. If they're not going to make any money, if they're not making any money already, then I don't want to work with you, quite frankly. But yeah, sorry, I forgot the question. I kind of
No, I was just listening at who you're targeting, so you did answer the question. So
yeah, because the conversion rates are really high up there. Considering it's a high ticket product as well.
Yeah, I mean, I love selling to influencers. It's the best. Like before, when I was in ghostwriting, I was selling specifically to kind of entrepreneurs, kind of who want to get into the kind of coaching space, either business coaching or life coaching. And that was a massive pain in the ass because they were smart and they kind of saw your sales tactics coming from a mile away. These influencers kind of just fall into it, and if you kind of show them a few numbers and show them a few revenue projections, which you kind of tap into Canva for like 20 minutes, then they're game. So yeah, that's kind of the target audience.
Yeah. So you're planning on continuing? Is that something you're gonna keep working on throughout like this winter kind of kind of grind period you're doing, a sprint, or do you have any other kind of plans or anything you're trying to test or new things you're looking to do within like up to March, like you said?
Honestly, that's it. The next like 6-7 months is just this, getting this to a point where I can confidently talk numbers and be proud of the numbers and be like, yeah, we're doing this, this, and this. Then next year, I want to be in a spot where I can just pour in like 20, 30 grand into content and go hard when I'm ready to go. So I'm not going to touch it until March at all. Maybe a bit, plus random stuff here and there if I go traveling and whatnot. But like I'm going to, hire a videographer, do probably 3 or 4 trips next year, and do the whole shebang and go for it. But really, I see the next probably 18 months in general be pretty much focused on this. And getting to a point where I want to speak numbers, but I don't want to say numbers too yet. So we'll do another call, maybe like January, and drop some numbers.
That sounds good. We can do like we can do another one in Jan and see like where everything's been going in the progress. Yeah, we can do like a before and after.
Yeah, sure.
That'd be cool. Yeah, like the sync we did, like the kind of, when was it? Like, was it like in April or something? We decided, okay, let's do like a sprint until September. We'll keep each other accountable and stuff.
Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I guess we could quickly. It says I think it was like 5 minutes left on the recording because I think it finishes after 5. But yeah, we can talk about that quick. Yeah. But yeah, I think it was in April we called and we're like, oh, okay, like how's it going with you? How's it going with you? And then we're kind of seeing what the plans were, and then we decided, okay, we're trying to kind of double down on this stuff and go public with it, so to speak. And I kind of mentioned that was a big focus of mine, and you're like, yeah, you as well, you kind of want to get some clarity on the content and see where you can push with all these things. So we set some goals for September. We're like, okay, let's keep each other in check. Like, you have to kind of go through with it and post, go live in September and all that. And for me, it was kind of going public with like the podcast. We've been doing it for a while. It's okay, let's just make this public and share it, post it, whatever, attach it to our personal profiles, as well as the business as well. Put the business account on our profiles and talk about it publicly, and then start kind of documenting the process publicly. So share with friends, family, and the rest. So continue exactly what we were doing, but just in the public eye now, which was mainly for accountability, but also, accountability is a big one. But I think just kind of leveraging the content, so just documenting what we've already been doing. I think it kind of adds a level of leverage to it for like network, like you mentioned earlier. And then on top of that, just to make it undeniable, I tried to, I've been doing 75 hard on top of that, because it relates to the business, because I'm trying to take the perspective of balancing work and fitness, which is kind of like what we're focusing on in our actual business delivery and kind of what we specialize in. But just for the sake of making a reel a day has been such a process. Like, it's not even because it's like technical or hard to do, but just actually like mentally having to think of, what do I want to be putting out? Like, what's aligned with the things that, like, what are my values basically? Well, like, what do I want to be posting that I think is aligned with who I'm trying to be? And that's kind of, it's tricky, but I'm also not trying to overthink it. I'm accepting, like, okay, the first 50 reels are going to be shit. Let me not think about it. Let me not expect anything, and let me just post consistently and try to, of course, put some effort to make it like an okay reel, or like not something completely useless, but let me just see where this goes, test some different styles and kind of see what comes out. So yeah, been live with that for like just over a week now, but it's been a process. But I'm going to continue until Christmas, and then I guess we'll see also in January where this is all going and how it pays off in the end. But yeah, that's been a hell of a process.
It's been sick to watch. Like, you smashed it completely. I mean, say the first 50 reels is going to be shit, which is a good mindset to have to get into it. But I think they're bloody great quality. Like sick edits, but also quality as well. But yeah, you stuck to that first of the September rule. I completely botched it and missed it completely. Still haven't done it. I will be on it probably.
You'll get there.
Yeah. But,
well,
fair play.
We can set like another sprint or something. But man, I'm telling you, even though like it hasn't been like, there's no crazy expectations or anything, I can say it's already been fairly beneficial just from putting content out. But also, like, I got 3 kind of leads come in the DMs, even though my stuff is not getting like many views at all, and that's to be honest, that's from mutual friends and like people I haven't really spoken to, like mutual friends as in no one I'm actually close with, or I've had a conversation with in the past few years, but maybe follows me like a silent follower, which has been pretty good. So like just from that alone, I'll honestly recommend doing it because you do get more reach straight away, even though you're not getting like 100K views per reel, you know. So yeah, I'm planning on sticking to it and just seeing at the end where we're at at the end of the 75 days. But yeah, bro, I think we should definitely run another one in Jan and see where this see where it all goes.
Yeah, we'll do a content challenge. You can get the most views wins.
We get super controversial and just start.
Yeah, it's all just like clickbait viral stuff.
Yeah, super clickbaity.
Mate, I'll win that one.